fellow contestants, they were all in PDP. Anambra is a PDP state. Even the serving governor now have contested for governorship under PDP. So with some other contestants. So the issue is that the kingmakers, the group that organize for elections and do elections are now in disarray. And the better chunk of them are with me in PDP. We are all back to PDP.
I see.
So Anambra is not APGA state anymore. Because this will be the last administration of APGA.
Okay. Well, I can imagine that is spoken in an electoral sense. Of course, I can't imagine that you would have a different kind of a concept, seeing as you're not in this for jokes. You're in there to win. But then that's what everybody says, that we're here to win. So it depends on who you ask. That's how you get. But I'm speaking with you. I'm speaking with Chief Jude Ezenwafo. And this is his perspective that, look, we're all back. The former, house that was in a bit of a disarray, you're saying that everything is now a lot better and that you're all together in one place. Okay, that's good to know. So what can the good people of Anambra, what can they actually be expecting? I'm asking this against the background of, when we heard from the ruling party, of course, they are saying that knowledge, they have the knowledge, they have, how to run things and all of that. So let me just ask you, what would you be bringing to the people of Anambra State if indeed at the polls the electorate say that Chief Jude, Ezenwafo is indeed our man? What can they expect?
Yes, I'm coming in with what is lacking in this administration.
Good.
I'm coming in with the basic thing we need in Anambra State, and that is security. I'm coming in to rejuvenate the social life in Anambra State, to bring back the company. There's no foreign company in Anambra State again. To bring back social life, bring back economic and the social amenities in Anambra State. Because, you see, it's only a secured state that can attract investments and attract social lives. So I'm coming in with security, and most importantly, what is happening to our people all over is going to be a thing of the past, because I'm bringing back a seaport in Anambra State. I'm bringing in seaport. I have the political will.
Okay. So that is something on your mind that because well, it's a different thing. But the other day, over in the southwest here, Ogun State, actually flagged off its own airport. And so if you are thinking of the seaport over there, is it a realistic proposal? Because oftentimes we have these good ideas, but there is never enough money. So what would you be saying to those who were to say that, but where is the money for this going to come from, considering that there's so many things that are competing for scarce resources?
You see, on such bold projects, like when we wanted to do the airport under my former boss, Governor Willie Obiano, there was not enough fund. But you see, we have airport and everybody's enjoying it now. We have plans to bring in investors that can help us dredge that River Niger for a proper seaport.
Okay.
You know why our people? Because our people are mostly importers and importers and businessmen. They bring in most of them. We want to decentralize the seaports, Nigeria seaports. Bring in one to the southeast, and that will be at Onitsha River, Niger, where we have a makeshift seaport before. I don't see the reason why we should not have seaport. I will follow it to the last. That will be one of the requests I will make to the government, to the federal government, to allow us have our seaports, because it's paramount to our kind of businesses and our kind of persons to bring in what we want, coupled with security in Anambra State.
Okay.
You cannot imagine what it will come out from.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, to return to this point of security, because it does seem to me that among other very important things to you, security, of course, everybody can see why, because without peace, tranquility, how can anything work? So, you know, there are two types of insecurity in that place, by which I mean, on the one hand, there will be the Eastern Security Network kind of affair, and then, of course, there will be the one of bandits and that kind of a thing, bandits and all these kind of a people. So would one size fit all by way of what you are thinking needs to be brought to the situation, or are there going to be different approaches for these different kinds of security challenges?
Okay, like I mentioned before, I do say before, I've been the senior special assistant to the past governor on political matters and security. And it was on our time that Anambra was adjudged one of the most safest states in Nigeria, where even the security listeners are coming to learn from us what we did that made Anambra this safe. I have the strategies. To make Anambra safe again.
Okay.
We have strategies ranging from amnesty, giving amnesty to the guys that are in the bush. And most importantly, liaising with our federal government on the release of our brother, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, which I kept on begging. So that we've sought, our security, just like you said, that we have the one that is being caused by insurgents and the one that is being caused by
straightforward criminals, bandits and robbers and kidnappers and all of that.
Separatists.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay, I get you.
Yes.
No, you meant separatists. Okay.
Yes. So it is having the willpower and not lying to ourselves to engage the federal government. And the way you do this, because that one is an issue of Southeast, we engage all other governors and the stakeholders to talk and stand for. Since people that have done worse than what he was alleged to have done has been released and granted amnesty, we will plead that our brother should be granted amnesty so that our insecurity will reduce drastically. That one apart, you see, they say that a chunk of our people, a greater percentage of our youth are unemployed. And they say that an idle man is a devil's workshop. And when you see a youth, you don't have anything you are doing, you don't earn salary, the next thing is to think of what to do, a bank or a bad gang to follow. or where to steal. All those things are what we are going to tackle. I've already started tackling it with my Anambra PDP Millionaires Club, which we are putting in all the 326 wards. We are concluding over 100 people that have 10 voters with the voters card, which will give us 1,100 votes in each ward. We mobilize these people, train the people you will train, and empower them. Recently, I've just applied for 150 Anambra youths to be employed at the Dangote refinery, which will give us 150 on the double. If you are coming in as a driver, most of the drivers in Dangote, they receive salary above most of the civil servants here. Their salaries are above 350,000 a month to 500,000 a month. And they promote accordingly. And they give incentives to people that also have gone accident-free and all those kind of insurances. So this is, and I find it amazing.
Are you saying that you applied corporately, applied on the behalf of people you don't even know yet? It's just a number. You want a commitment from Dangote refineries. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, yes. Okay. We'll get such opportunities. I'll put in my men. I'll put in my youth. If we get such opportunities, because I'm aiming and creating not less than 10,000 jobs, at least in my first tenure as a governor of Anambra State.
Okay, okay.
So the youths, when you engage them, they are busy. They are not dormant. They are not idle. You see, after work in the evening, they will go to a canteen or a place where they will enjoy. The money will keep on rolling and the social life will be rejuvenated. And giving security to the companies coming in, foreign companies, production companies coming into Anambra State, which have almost folded up, all the companies. Giving security to them will bring them back. And when you give them guarantee and all the necessary insurance and security this thing for them to grow, they will come in numbers, and Anambra will start growing again.
All right. Okay. Thank you. Now, something else I had made up my mind to ask you. That is to say, what are you bringing to the job? By which I mean, technocrats bring what they have to the job. Politicians bring what they have to the job. In this kind of a case, for those that don't know you well, is it going to be very easy for people to say that, look, we need people of experience here? So what is the experience of Chief Ezenwa, for instance, to think he can face me in this election? Well, how would you respond to that?
Okay. Okay. If you, it will be quite. Well, you can say that, but Jude Ezenwa was the first PDP youth leader in Anambra State.
Okay.
I'm from the street. I'm a street general.
Oh, okay.
It will be funny to say there's no PDP or Anambra active youth that does not know me. There's no politician in Anambra State that does not know me.
Okay.
I've been in the corridors of power, from the state youth leader to the special assistant to the governor Banuju on youth and mobilization, and then special assistant to Governor Chris Ngige on security. From there to state chairman of the party, of Labour Party. We brought Labour Party in Anambra State and made the House members. From there, I became from Labour Party, I tried contesting in 2009 before I gave to Senator Anambra the ticket. And after 2009, I was still state chairman of the Labour Party in the state, and the chairman of all the political parties, CMPP, which also, I was also the special advisor. The
Coalition of National Political Parties.
I was also the advisor to P2OB, Governor P2OB.
Okay.
3 months before I became the chairman. That's true.
Okay.
So after that, I went for a diplomatic mission. I was a consul on trade and investment for SVG, that's the Service Center and Greenergy. I formed the CARICOM Community Business Roundtable in Abuja here. And with the experience I have in the business industry and real estate, I exported a lot to the world for Nigeria through the Caribbean, South American Caribbean. So apart from that, after that, I went back to be a senior special assistant to Governor Willie Obiano because I must participate in the election process. From there, I was senior special assistant to Governor Willie Obiano on the first time on political matters and strategy. And the first time, second time, senior special assistant political matters, strategy and security, which gave us #1 state in security in Nigeria.
Well, thank you very much.
After Willie Obiano, I came back to my real estate business and political consultancy. So with this enough, I will tell you that I am at the root of the grass.
Okay.
I know my people.
You're not just grassroots, at the very root of the grass. I like that. Tell you what, Chief, let's
I know my people and I know what my people want.
Okay. Mr. George in Ikeja, thank you for holding on. Please go ahead now. Good morning.
Good morning, Uncle Yori. And good morning to your guest. Uncle Yori, your guest is aspiring to become the governor of Anambra State. And he said some things that caught my attention. One of them is that he is going to pursue the release of Nnamdi Kanu because what he has done, other people who have done worse have been pardoned. So it's separatism, and with a military arm that has killed over 1,000 people in the East. Is not criminal. He doesn't see anything wrong in that. An average Igbo elite. That's my observation about them. They do not seem to see the evil behind what Nnamdi Kanu has been doing. His lieutenant, who was doing the same in Finland, has just been jailed with the same evidence with which Nnamdi Kanu is being tried in Nigeria. He has been jailed in Finland. Why didn't they tell the Finnish government that they have done nothing wrong? Separatism is not a crime.
Okay.
I am taken aback. If you have a child.
All right then. Well, we heard enough for Chief Jude Ezenwafo, PDP governorship candidate in Anambra State, to be able to comment upon. What would be your comment upon, the submission of that viewer? Hello, Chief. Chief Ezenwafo.
Yes.
I said,
Yes, sir.
okay, you heard him. Do you have any comment?
Yes. When he said, I will plead for the amnesty of the separatists, and that he has killed so this, so that, I don't buy that, because in as much as I won't talk on something, a case that is already in court, but those things he's saying is just an assumption, and I will keep it at that.
Okay.
Well, all I will continue saying is that I will plead that whatever it is, as a governor, I will go and I will guarantee his safe passage, his safe release.
Okay. Thank you. Well, I can understand, and you probably don't want to say much more about that at this point in time. It's understandable, not least for the fact that you raised, which is that it's a matter in court. So, you know, we better leave those areas alone. Okay, at least when you made your presentation, these are the things that went through some people's minds. So it's just as well that you've had the opportunity to air it. Now, let me look at, in terms of your aspiration, you would want to be the governor. Infrastructure, you know, how challenging do you estimate that it is, and what can you bring to bear? I imagine you can't do very much about the erosion that plagues parts of Anambra, but talk to me about your plans for infrastructure.
Not only infrastructure, solid and standard infrastructure. Solid and well-planned standard infrastructure. Because what you find out that in the present administration is that we are doing road from one end. Before you get to the other end, the rain has come and eroded the whole place. I don't understand what is the standard they are using. In as much as the fund is exorbitant. And I wouldn't want to go there too, but I have my facts, and but pray that it stops. We need a very well-planned development plan, you know, with a standard and solid infrastructural development. You see, most of the canals and drainages has been built upon, and you know, everything is scattered. That's why almost a kindred is going to be wiped out if there is any rain again.
Okay.
And the whole village has been moved in my own state.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
A state that has a river Niger. What is wrong from doing a proper canal that will end to the Niger? Well, whenever we come into the government, we're going to sit down and replan it. Replan Anambra State so that such emergencies will not be coming out. The only ones you can see is what we call natural disaster, which is permittable. We can call it force majeure. But I have planned for solid and standard infrastructure, rapid development.
Okay, so we have barely a couple of minutes left. Let me just get your idea on, well, two things. I wish I had the time. You know, maybe you can see what you can wrap up in just about 2 minutes between health, agriculture. Did you hear me, Chief? Give us your thoughts on what to do to upgrade education, health, and agriculture. I just put in education, health, and agriculture. Is it possible to give us, just touch on those areas as to what the Anambra people are going to benefit from, an Ezenwa for victory?
Yes, agriculture is paramount in my manifesto, because I can remember during the COVID, agriculture is one of the things that sustained us throughout that made Anambra State not to go down with some other states. We are indeed, we have the good arable lands and a chunk of farmers which we're supposed to encourage and provide subsidized agricultural products to boost agriculture. We also bring in mechanized farming and, like I said before, create farm market, like fish market, where if you are doing fish farming, every evening somebody can come and say there's fish farming, and then vegetable and fruit markets. Create it all in all the local governments and fund their sustainability. Agriculture, I have plans to move to a permanent, to a standard in my state, because it's very paramount.
Okay.
And
well, I tell you what, Chief, I did say that we had very little time left, and perhaps I gave you too tall a task. I put those giant subjects into something like 2 minutes. I understand that you weren't able to touch on it, but agriculture, as you have said, is tremendously important. You've also spoken to us on other aspects of what Anambrarians can expect from an Ezenwa for victory in the November 8 Anambra governorship election. So let me just thank you very much and wish you all the best as you go and meet with the electorate come November 8. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay. So do please stay with us. We'll be right back. We'll look at another aspect. In fact, the new INEC chairman, Professor Amukiton, as the new, being confirmed by the Council of State as the new INEC chairman. Do please stay with us.
The Renewed Hope Initiative RHI presents the RHI Green Nigeria Challenge. Go green today for a greener tomorrow. This national competition is in 3 categories. The household category is a tree planting competition amongst 11 frontline states in northern Nigeria. Each participating household in Adamawa, Borno, Bauchi, Gombe, Jigawa, Kano, Katsina, Kebbi, Sokoto, Yobe, and Zamfara states will plant a minimum of 1 tree to qualify, with a video evidence of before and after the tree planting exercise. 20 million naira will be awarded to the best household. Submission deadline is 20th December 2026. Community category will see local governments, local communities, schools, and NGOs reclaim and transform degraded or abandoned areas such as dump sites, landfills, parks, and their likes into green, vibrant gardens, parks, and eco-friendly spaces. 50 million naira would be awarded to the overall best community group. Deadline for submission is 15th July 2026. States category will have all states of the Federation and the Federal Capital Territory, excluding Enugu State, have a chance to address the growing threats to environmental sustainability and cleanliness. States will be judged based on the number of trees planted on major roads and inner streets and how clean they are. 100 million naira will be awarded to the best performing state. Already, Enugu State has 100 million naira for being RHI's model green state due to its greenery and cleanliness. Video evidence must be submitted by participating states on or before 20th December 2026. All entries must be directed to RHI Office, State House Abuja, or email rhi.greenchallenge@statehouse.gov.ng. RHI Green Nigeria Challenge. Go green today for a greener tomorrow.
Okay, welcome back, and indeed welcome in case you've just arrived. There's some meat left on the bone. We've just finished looking at the Anambra election coming up on November 8th, and we were speaking with Chief Jude Ezenwa for PDP governorship candidate. We might be looking at some other candidates from other political parties in subsequent programs. But moving on now, the Council of State approves Professor Joash Ojo Amupitan as the new INEC chairman. And our guest this time is Malam Umar Aminu Kalgo. Malam Kalgo is a lawyer and public affairs analyst. Good morning to you, Malam.
Mr. Folarin.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for coming on. Is this how, as you expected? Because you know, when the announcement was first of all made, the point was made that there was nobody from the Council of State there and all of that. But now we see that they have overwhelmingly, unanimously adopted Mr. President's recommendation. Talk to me about that, please.
Mr. Folarin, it is interesting, you know, what election stands for. And Nigerians have every reason to keenly look at the issue of appointment of who would be the chairman of INEC. And that's what is transpiring in our community, in the society in Nigeria. You see the interest. But the law is very clear about appointment of INEC chairman. Section 154 is very clear. And Section 154 of the Constitution, sub 3, have mandated the president to consult, the word is consult, with the Council of State while appointing chairman of INEC and other agencies and commission and councils of the federal government. And with that, I just want us to appreciate what the law says. It is just a consult. And from what we have from the news and what we have been seeing, the Council of State was consulted. So the first leg of the procedure is already accomplished. What remains now is the confirmation by the Senate when he gets to appear before them.
Yeah, thank you, Prof. Can you fathom a guess as to why we're hearing this now, that, as you've just said, the law does require consultation with the Council of State, but that, if it was done, it wasn't included in the initial press release, which led some people to begin to speculate. But now all the parameters are in place, leaving just the Senate to do its job. That whole idea about why is it that it couldn't be said at that time that the Council of State has been consulted and that they are in agreement, and so I'm now presenting it to you, my cabinet, before going on. Why it was not done one after the other? Do you have any? Can you fathom any guess, or do these things happen like that sometimes?
I have problem. I mean, the audio is not that audible, but if I get you right, I think it has to go with the word consult. the Council of State, its members is well known. And when it said consult, it means that the president needs to engage them and in telling them this is whom he nominated, or I can say who he appoints, because Section 2 of the principal section, which says that is 154 sub 2, says that appointment by the president subject to confirmation by the Senate.
Yes.
That's the main section that talks about appointment into the offices of chairman of many council and commissions in the federal executive. So with that, I think what is not stipulating that the council have to vote or okay, but it entails that it is something that is expected. And now, where we find ourselves, I think is a comfortable place, because you didn't hear, there's no any voice saying otherwise from the Council of State so far.
Indeed.
So, yes.
Indeed. Well, this is a gentleman, youngish, so to speak, but the man is an SAN. He's also a lawyer, like your good self. And quite frankly, one has been hearing nothing but good things about him, especially from people in your fold, that is the MBA and professional lawyers. So I was wondering what you think. Is this somebody who is known to you professionally?
Professionally, I would say by virtue of the rule of engagement as a lawyer, I would say is known to me, because I know him as an SAN for that matter, and level of excellence for an advocate to attain. But personally, I don't have any. I don't know him personally, so to say.
Okay.
Yes, but.
But I imagine, I can only imagine that when the announcement was made and a senior lawyer was being, tipped by the president for the post, I imagine that this would have made all lawyers refer to all the references that they have to find out, if they didn't happen to know him even that well professionally, what the field thinks about this gentleman. The one thing
what I mean is that you see, the professor develops up as a professor in law and as well as a senior advocate of Nigeria.
Yes.
And with such an accolade, one can tell that he has reached the highest level of professionalism in his chosen field of law. So what remains to say that I'm saying that, apart from all what there's this maybe personal interrelation that you have with someone, that's what I'm saying. I don't have any.
I understand.
I'm happy for him to be in that chair, and I think it also said a lot, and a lot of expectation would be on somebody who is an expert of the law to head such an important commission for the country.
Indeed. That is indeed the way it is. One thing that we've heard about it, in fact, I think from the very get-go, was this is a man who is seen as being apolitical. He's not known to, lean towards any political party per se. He's not been known in political circles. All of this sort of stands him in very good stead for the kind of job he's coming onto now, does it not?
Yes, that's the prerequisite of someone who is to be an umpire. An umpire in our polity, which is a democracy, you have competing parties, has to be apolitical. And just like many of the apparatus of the states needs to be apolitical for us to have a vibrant and good democracy. Some of the agencies have to be insulated. And I think that's a prerequisite. And without such prerequisite, he wouldn't have been nominated from the earlier stage. I just want to say that I am happy for him, and actually, he is stepping into a footprint of a giant, and the Nigerians are looking forward so that in the next 5 years we would see he too is another giant.
Indeed. Speaking about Mahmoud Yakubu, who has just, finished his term, he brought many innovations, and as you say, he is rightly referred to as a giant in that particular field. And well, we just wish for the best for the incoming, chairman. All other things being equal, that is assuming that Senate even, plays along, because it's not any. It's not. I mean, the truth is, there wouldn't have been a need for Senate to come into it if there was not the possibility that Senate could approve or not approve. Although many people sort of almost are taking it for granted that Senate will approve, but it is still a technicality in there. You must present this nomination to the Senate for them to have their own consideration and then come up with it. So this is entirely in order, right?
Yes, that's the system to ensure that it's a critical appointment, as we have already underlined, that it is one of the most important institutions that guarantee a smooth exchange of power from one, government to another government. So in that case, that's why the Constitution was very explicit that there must be that the Senate must confirm any appointment in that regard. So we had in Nigeria never had a time when, to the best of my knowledge, when an appointee of the president for the position of INEC chairman was not confirmed. But with the law allowing for that approval, if in the event there is no approval, it just signals that the Senate is not at home with who was brought, and in that case, another reappointment need to be done. But we have never had such experience in Nigeria, to the best of my knowledge.
Okay. The other thing that I would sort of appreciate your comment on is that after the name of Amukpiton was put out there, there are those, well, that is how it is. The internet is made up of all sorts, especially in social media. There are those who say that, this man, we know him. He headed up Tinubu's defense when he had his case. Well, some people have been fact-checking that particular part. And indeed, one paper, at least, Cable has done a fact check, and has said that Amukpiton, INEC chair nominee, was not part of Tinubu's legal team at the election tribunal. You heard that. What would be your comment on bringing that up and for fact checks to now deny that anything like that actually happened?
My comment is that, I would say Nigeria being a very vibrant democracy, people will have opportunity to say their mind, but it has to be done judiciously. The right to, with this, I think we have just crossed the first leg of his appointment. It has not even reached the second leg, which is the confirmation by the Senate. And if I understand very well, what was on the internet is already a petition that was presented to the Senate. And I think what, as Nigerians, we need to, at this stage, be concerned is that if that petition have been received by the Senate, we believe they will do the needful, thorough background check to see the facts that have been laid down as petition against him, so that it will guide them in their decision whether to confirm him or not.
Yes.
But for the different, journalistic investigation, yes, I have seen some that have already confirmed that he is not. But at this time, you have people at both the bites. But I want to allow the system, I think Nigerians should allow the system to work, since this petition is even lying down before the Senate as we speak. And it will be, I mean, preempting or delving into an issue which is before the Senate to decide. So I think my confidence would be there with them as representatives of this nation to do the needful with that. So I think we should be rest assured as Nigerians not to continue, I mean, towing it this side and the other side, because after all, it will come to rest. And whoever is not, I mean, at home after it, we have the last resort in the end if it didn't augur well for the petitioners.
Okay. All right then. Mazi Okoroafo, thank you very much for holding on. Go right ahead now, please.
Good morning, sir. Good morning again. Honestly, sir, what is you bring here? When you say to cry for as INEC chairman, people complain. That is Nigeria for you. But the question is, the litmus test for the new chairman is this bit of Anambra coming up next week. That is where Nigeria will test ability and capacity as a professor of law, as a professor of investigative law, professor of fact. This is what Nigeria should. That's what Nigeria should keep watch the November election in Anambra. This will determine all these Viva, all these voters apathy, all these disappear with buses, all these issue of the system is not working. That is what Nigeria should be waiting on and check whether its own system will be different. Because we have to allow somebody to do something before we start complaining. But there's no need of complaining now. But even now, as Nigeria, there's no that's paper. If you know you cannot absorb criticism with pass or no with pass, don't take government job. Any type of job, even in the office where you are, even the job you are doing, people take it. That is why we are human beings. My own prayer is that God will help him, give him the grace to do the needful. At least do the job that he has been given. Religiously, judiciously, we stay free and transparent in all the elections throughout his tenure. Good morning, sir. Yuri. Good morning, my brother. And good morning, everybody.
Thank you very much, Mazi Okoroafo, calling out of, well, I don't know where Mazi was calling from, but thank you very much for calling. The other point that I could quickly bring, imagining that everything goes as expected, goes well, the professor who is the candidate for chairman of INEC, his specialization is said to be commercial law, and I believe I've heard it written, I've seen it written that he also is an expert in the law of evidence. These aspects of his professionalism and his erudition, they're supposed to benefit INEC. Can you imagine that being a commercial lawyer and also an expert in commercial law as well as an expert in the law of evidence, will this serve him well in his job, all other things being equal?
I think, yes, they will add up to his pedigree already, because this has specialization as we speak. Not to forget that when once a lawyer, one is first in various fields, especially at the undergraduate level. So the question of evidence, I think, is very, very critical when it comes to issue of election, because normally elections here are contested firstly at the polling units and booth, but mostly they end up in court. And that's why even the Electoral Act 2022 was very innovative in the area of evidence, when there is a section that try to allow that where the document explicitly shows that there is an inconsistency that is very glaring and clear, there will be no need for oral witness to testify. I'm just bringing some examples.
Yes.
But this aspect, I think, is still in the incubation to reach its final, object of the lawmakers in that regard, because we have interpretations on it, which I think we have to follow and see how it goes. So I think it will add up greatly in terms of evidence, because a lot of elections end up in tribunals and are decided by the court. The commercial law aspect you talk about, I think, is very, very important, because this is a social aspect of life. And you see, commercial law has to do with a social aspect of life. So I think it will give him, added advantage in how he deals with a lot of competing people, because in politics, you have competing parts, everyone to his interests, just like in commerce, that everyone is adhering to his, and the law is there to broker a viable, thriving place for each to succeed on account of his efforts. And I think in that regard, well, commercial law expertise can be a great advantage.
Well, thank you very much, Malam Umar Aminu Kalgo, public affairs analyst and legal practitioner. We really do appreciate your time this morning. Thank you once again for joining us.
My pleasure, Mr. Folorin. I'm grateful.
All right, then. Okay, so that's our program today, then. Do please join us tomorrow for a fresh edition. I am Iyori Folarin. Bye-bye for now.
Every major news story is with many perspectives and layered with different levels of impact.
Hello. What time did this happen? We will be right there.
At TVC News, we follow the big and major news, gathering the facts, witnessing the outcome.
I am here live at the aftermath of the approval of the new national minimum wage.
We are TV station of the year, not just for breaking news, but for being first, fair and accurate. TVC News, first with breaking news.
From Lagos to the world, TVC Communications has been nominated for its very first international award, the prestigious AIB. It's a recognition of our voice, vision, innovation, and relentless drive to push beyond boundaries. TVC Communications, Nigerian excellence on the world stage.
Meet Benga Oreshegun, a fearless voice and an advocate for the truth. He's bringing fresh energy and bold insights to journalists' Hangout.
Get ready for deeper analysis and dynamic perspectives. Join me and Babajide Kolade Otitoju with other veteran journalists on Journalists Hangout. Weekdays from 5 p.m. and on Sundays 1:30 p.m.
Power, politics, and accountability on fireworks. No seat is too high, no question too hard. If they hold an office, they are on the hot seat. If they have power, they answer to the people and answer the hard questions.
Only strong men lead, not weak men who don't have knowledge, who don't have capacity, who don't have access.
This is not just talk. This is fireworks.
Corruption started. Corruption in when you cannot send your animal to where they train police officers.
No filter, no favoritism, no fear, no holds barred, unbiased, unafraid, unfiltered.
Why should people elected into office and are being funded by the treasury of the state, and then their salary The allowances will be treated in secrecy.
Fireworks, only on TVC News.
TVC News, first with breaking news.
The Inspector General of Police has met with senior officers to review the state of security.
We are continuing our coverage of the arrest of Godwin Emefiele.
The Senate has summoned the governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria to properly brief the Senate regarding the state of the economy.
What I will never take.
Let's now bring you more development from Ibadan, the Oyo State capital, where an explosion has taken place. Tell us about this incident.
TVC News, first with breaking news.
It's another moment to stay informed, connected, and stay ahead as we bring you stories shaping our nation and beyond. Thanks for joining us on Midday News. Exactly 12 hours ago, the Academic Staff Union of Universities announced a total comprehensive 2-week warning strike affecting our public